Hello, everybody. This is Teresa Collins of Blended Spirit. This is Chakra Foundations, and I am so honored, so very, very, very honored to have with me two amazing guest speakers today. I am going to introduce myself very quickly, and then I'll introduce them. As you know, I am owner of Blended Spirit Academy. I love, 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 love to help people show up, show off, share their light. These two are gorgeous teachers, and we're going to hear some of their expertise today, and we're going to get to share in their light as well. So we'll begin with Miss LaVille. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Tracy LaVille Elgert, mostly go by Tracy Elgert. I am the owner and founder of Mystic Lights Medium. I'm here to try to share some of my light and my knowledge on the chakras that we'll be talking about today. I'm pretty excited. I'm actually, I'm very excited about being able to share this with two beautiful women. So we look forward to giving you some new knowledge.
Thank you. Next, we have
Shannon. I am a longtime client / student of Teresa's. I'm also the founder of Guiding Course Reiki. I'm a Reiki level 2, and having taken this course before, I just found the information super useful and something that everyone can use in their own life. And I wanted to share that with everyone else. So yeah, and very excited to be teaching with you too.
I love it. I love it so much. So as Shannon mentioned, we have taught this many times before. This is the first time we've had the collaboration though. And because it's so amazing, we are going to create a self-study course. So if you are watching this at home in your pajamas, which I hope you are, and you happen to have any questions, feel free to reach out and send me an email. So as we go through the course, if you want to jot down your questions, we will definitely get back to you on that. And sometime in the future, we will have a teaching forum where we'll be able to pop on and ask questions live soon. So let's, without further ado, Miss Shannon, can you start the show?
Sure. Okay, let me just get this slideshow up, make sure it works again. There we go.
Get your popcorn. Here we go.
Right?
Off we go.
Where is it? There we go.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yay.
So yeah, so it's a basics of the chakras. So we're going to be talking about the 7 foundational chakras. There are 114 chakras in the body. So we're focusing on the first 7 because there's really no point in talking about the other 114 if you can't get a grasp on these 7.
Yes, let's walk before we run. I absolutely agree.
Exactly.
And when we set the solid foundations, as you've said, then we can start to build on the other ones.
Exactly. So we'll start with a quick little overview of the chakras, kind of what they all have in common, and then talk about talk about each chakra individually, starting with the root, which is the first primary chakra, and we'll talk about how it was developed, where it's located, what it is, any health impacts, so positive and negative. How does it serve us? So that will be very interesting. I think there are some good questions to ask yourself to help you heal. And then just some tips on how to unblock, align, and maintain, which really are all, there is no tip on how to specifically unblock or align. It's all shared. It's all doing the same thing. And then we'll do a summary after each chakra, after each conversation. So yeah.
Like how you're sharing, how does it serve? What is the point, right?
Oh, totally, yes. So let me just, our screens are hiding the writing here, so I'm gonna read off of my.
Yeah, that happens. You can actually move the screen too to the other side. So just
there we go.
Tuck it over, and there you go.
Okay, so the chakras, what are they? So first off, they are energy centers within the body. So starting from basically your pubic area all the way up to the top of your head, which is your crown, and they all work together. So it's all about connection between the 7 and them cooperating with each other to keep you balanced and keep the energy flowing within your body.
Perfect. What do you think there are, Tracy?
I fully concur with that. Absolutely. The chakras, when working with the chakras for us Reiki people, it's really important to keep them balanced and moving. It allows for a more energetic healing, and it allows for people to really be one with themselves, being able to be in their own space. So learning these basics for any chakra is so vital, especially if you are starting a journey of spirituality in any way.
Awesome. I love that. And as we said, this is an integration of all knowledge. I actually see them as wheels of light. And often people see them like this gentleman here, but that's actually not entirely true. They're more, they move left, they move right. They're more like hula hoops that surround the body. So they're not necessarily just this purple sitting on here. They're going to be a kind of a messy interaction of a wheel of light that kind of feeds into the next one, but feeds into the next one, that feeds into the next one. So a little bit more in depth in 3D than what we see here in the picture. But wheels of light, changing, moving, stopping.
And you know what, on top of what you said there, Teresa, you're right, like they are more 3D than just these like little circles in front of the body. And they are, I didn't really go into it here because there's a lot of knowledge to talk about.
So much to learn, right? I love it.
Basics. But they are connected with your aura levels, or your aura, your different levels of your aura. And so the chakras actually, like you're saying, Teresa, come out and like revolve around like the body. So if, like I think of it like if my root chakra is really closed down and a Reiki practitioner were to test where how far my root chakra is
extending
out or energetically speaking, it'll probably be really, really close to my body. Versus if my root chakra was really open and balanced, you could probably feel it like all the way, you can't see my hands, but like, let's say like all the way out here.
Yeah.
So it's
absolutely
like around the body.
Yeah. And I love that you did bring up the layers. We can talk quickly. There's 7 layers surrounding us in the chakras. So we have these going here, and then we have them going here. So we are this beautiful hula hoop of light that is happening. Now, what we don't understand, and why it's so very important that we're learning about the chakras, is our hula hoops are interacting with everybody. So yes, you speak about a closed down root chakra, which is close to me, but if I have an open, overactive root chakra, I'm also doing that, expelling that with everybody else around me, right? So my hula hoop is now interacting with anybody that comes within 3 feet. So not such a huge deal now that we have to stay 2 meters away from each other, which is why it's easier to stay in our own energy. But when we were all close quarters, and think about when you're at a concert, or even if you're standing in line at a grocery store, you're actually interacting a chakra with the person in front of you.
Absolutely.
I find when we are closer together chakra wise, where our auras actually integrate, our energies change, our mood changes. That's where being empathic really has a huge effect on people who are empathic when they actually interact and they hit each other, because then our circles are going around with other people's.
Yeah, but also so amazing in the other way when we find the tribe that we love. When we find that group of women or men, but like yesterday when we were all painting and we were all interacting with each other, it felt good, right? Like we were creating, we were expressing, we were aligning, we were allowing, we were accepting. So we were all moving then that same awesome.
Yeah.
Great job. Next slide.
So there's a little bit more information here.
Awesome.
So balance is the key here. So it's keeping all of your chakras balanced. So, if your crown chakra, let's say, is overworked, then that probably means that your root chakra is also probably unbalanced. And the great thing about that is if you're working on balancing one chakra, you're also having an effect on another chakra. But that all being said, if you aren't paying attention to your chakras, it's very easy, like a domino effect, for them to all kind of get out of balance.
But what happens if I balanced my chakras last week? Why are they out of balance now?
Life happens and it throws you lemons. And if you aren't prepared for those lemons, then, if you aren't paying attention to your body, then, things are happening without you realizing it. Like our digestive system is happening without us telling our digestive system to do the job. So same with your chakras. They're working without you telling them to work. So they are picking up all this information from the world around us and our experiences of the world around us. And if any of those are negative experiences, then, or we are perceiving them as negative experiences, then that can throw things out of whack.
And it may not be negative experiences. Maybe it's just not your experiences. I like to equate it as brushing your hair. You get up in the morning, you brush your hair. You go throughout your day. If you brush your hair at the end, you still need to brush your hair at the end.
Yeah.
Right? So chakras are similar to that. They need regular maintenance. Even though you didn't do anything bad all day, you still got a little naughty.
It
was the wind.
It's not my fault.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very valid.
Yeah. They're also record keepers and storage. So they record all of our experiences and they will store experiences for later. So like, for example, when we're kids and if we are traumatized in any way, shape or form, and we don't even realize it's a traumatic experience, or we aren't able to deal with it at that time, our chakras will store that information. And as we get older, if we are never able to address that situation, it can kind of lead to behavior that is not so maybe beneficial to you. So I think of it as, say something happens to you as a kid and, as an adult, you have a lot of like self-sabotaging behavior and you don't know why. And that takes having to look at your own history and your past experiences to kind of bring that stuff to the forefront, to heal it and let it go so you can live a better life for yourself.
Sounds amazing. There goes my throat chakra. Sounds amazing. As a child, I couldn't speak my truth. Now I need to speak my truth.
Exactly.
Wonderful idea.
Yeah.
So, and that's a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously needs a little bit more attention than just our basic foundations, but everybody can help you with that. And then what's the last piece here?
So it does deal with regulatory functions. Really, like that's the root chakra helps to get rid of any excess like toxic energy, I guess you can say, but it's also related to our like physical elimination as well of toxic waste. That's important. We already kind of talked about the communication pathway. So they are communicating with each other, but also communicating with everyone around us, our family and friends. But why is all this important? It's important because if you understand your chakras, like so many things that have to do with our health, beyond just our physical health, it requires awareness and an openness to examine ourselves, our thoughts, our behaviors, our motivations, our past, present, and future.
Wow, that's a mouthful. Let's just do that on a Tuesday, right?
Right? But like, they are so, foundational to us.
So foundational. I love it.
Who we are today, yesterday, and tomorrow.
Right.
So, yeah.
So, yeah, and I love that point. Before we move on, I just want to say that's so important. And that's why I originally started teaching about the chakras, because I had no idea really how important they were. I'm just walking around in this body, it's just this body. Half the time we don't love our body, but there's so much going on in this physical and energetic.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm the same way with you, Teresa. I had always heard of them. I'd spoken to people about them, but I never had a proper understanding of actually how important they are and how much they govern within my body. Spiritually, my spiritual body, my mental, emotional, and physical body.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And with chakras, I mean, there's so many chakra people out there that they just say it's a chakra. You need to balance your chakra. Well, what is it?
What does that mean?
What the heck does that mean? Right.
what are you talking about? Like, why is it like how? What? So
yeah, right. And there's no pill you can take, right? It's not like, okay, go to the store, buy a root chakra tea. Well, there might be actually. But that kind of idea. where it's like a once and done thing, and then you're done with it.
Right.
There's a little bit more in depth. So we'll
Yeah,
give you some.
it takes more than a moment. So yeah. That's
So
for
when we are balanced, I like this. What do we look like when we're balanced?
We're open to
not always like
prosperity.
that.
Yeah.
Everyone wanting to do, they all want to manifest their perfect life, while, you know, manifest an abundance of assuming wealth and health and not laundry.
Yes, yes, yes. Our garbage. God, I noticed
So,
that.
you know, prosperity, material belongings, sense of belonging, and feelings of safety and security. So this is like our very like our physical needs.
Yeah. If it was a house, it's the very foundation of it. And if your foundation is weak, it's going to be hard to build strong.
Exactly. Yep, absolutely.
Okay, what do we got?
So how it was developed. So the root came into existence between 6 months, between conception and 6 months in utero. And then from there, it continues to develop throughout our childhood. So between the ages of 1 to 7. And because the root chakra is growing and forming through these childhood years, I realized how important, why the root chakra is so important with inner child wounds and traumas from childhood, because that is when you are creating your sense of security and safety within your family and or within your environment. And if you never were able to create that sense of safety and security, then, or it was shaken as a child, then that would really stay with you into your adulthood. And so that's why this chakra is where a lot of inner child traumas kind of sit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a thing. So for parents, so first time parents, right? How can they shape and allow their child's root chakra to grow and be strong? Because I mean, every parent has like they get frustrated with their child, or you know, the child does something bad and they get, you know, told no. Is that no section actually, you know, making that hiccup in the root chakra?
That is a very good question. I mean, having not ever had children myself, but having been a child and being raised by two parents who loved me and provided a very safe environment for me, you will still experience or take things in as traumatic. And it's like I think of it as every single person is different, and you can still have a very safe and secure upbringing and home, but you can still be out in the world and interacting with adults around you, and you just pick up one vibe from someone and it just sticks with you. And I have an example in my head of one of my babysitters. Like both of my parents worked, and my mom and dad had no option other than to have us stay with a babysitter. And my sister was in kindergarten in grade 1, and I was still very, very young. And I didn't know how to communicate this to my mom, but this babysitter always made me feel very uncomfortable and not safe. And she would make these like funny expressions at me, and it just wouldn't sit well with me. And I walked in one day seeing her spanking her son, who was a few years older than me, like on the bare butt. And that like scared me, because my parents never did that to my sister and I. So I think that kind of stuck with me later on into my like teenage years and adult years. I'm not going to go into details, but that is an example. So you as a parent can do all you can for your child, but your child is still going to be experiencing things around them, and you can't control what they're experiencing things, and you can't control how they're going to take those experiences in. So I think what's most important here is to understand what the root chakra is, and to teach your child how they can maintain alignment and keep things balanced and maintain them I don't know. Am I wrong?
No, you're totally right. Unfortunately,
You're not
some
wrong at
kind of childhood trauma is necessary for adult development and growth. It's
Yeah.
part of being human. It's the level of childhood trauma. What I really want to kind of address here, though, is what you're talking about is in utero. So when mama is pregnant, that is actually a super important thing. And I think this is why it's so important for the generations now going forward to understand this. So I do a lot of Reiki on pregnant mummies, and their babies are so chill. They're so amazing. They come out with this sense of security, this sense of belonging, this sense of fun and relaxed. They're not colicky. And I mean, there's always an exception to every rule, but almost every single mama I've worked with during their pregnancy, their babies are phenomenally happy. Because it does start right from the beginning, the sense of belonging, the sense of love. And then you're also taking care of mama, right? So if mama had, and it's not their fault, well, it may be their fault, whatever, but sometimes they were in situations that were, the pregnancy wasn't wanted, they weren't sure, maybe it's the third of 5, there's all these different things that come through, and that is given to the child at the root chakra. Now, understanding that this is part of our journey and it's okay. So if you're a mama, you're watching this, please don't go into a whole guilt trip about it. Knowing now where it comes from, though, is why we can collapse it. So if we have an idea that, actually those first years are so super important and we've been doing all this work and we can't figure it out, now maybe we can go back and say, okay, well, maybe I need to heal this 0 to 2 years. Maybe that is this sense of trust that is the challenge. And I'm teaching mother wound healing coming up, and you'll find that this keeps repeating because people don't quite understand how important this root chakra is and where it comes from right from the beginning.
Yeah. And I feel like it's also important too, like for new moms or women who are pregnant, to learn, and this has come up with you, both of you, a lot, is the importance of teaching protection, because the mom is absorbing energy from around her and she's bringing that into her body, which the baby is then feeling. So if she's around someone who is like, if she's constantly stressed, or if she's constantly anxious, or if she's picking up on a lot of other people's negative emotions, and because she's very empathic and she doesn't know how to kind of set a boundary around herself to protect her from those feelings, then all of that is being absorbed into the baby.
Yeah. And anything in water is magnified. So baby is in pure water.
Yeah.
So that's why this is so very important to teach about this foundation.
Yeah.
So very important.
Amazing.
Yeah. Now release the guilt. Know what you can do.
And like you said, Teresa, it is all about learning. Like we cannot learn as a human being if we haven't gone through some things.
Well, and evolution-wise, we weren't even, as a society, we weren't even ready to hear this before. This is a newfound thing. So our evolutionary development, we're aware of these extra layers now. So our moms really couldn't do anything about it because it wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Right. But now that we know more, now we can do it. Now that this is where the thing comes in. By not doing something, you're actually neglecting.
Right. So. And it's never too late to start healing.
Nope.
Exactly.
Ever. So yeah, at any point in time, it's very great. Let's start.
Yes. Yep. And we get to do it all the time, all the days.
Yeah.
And we heal it in layers. Okay. Excellent slides.
So where is it located? It's located at your perineum. I think I'm saying that correctly. So literally the base of your body there between your legs. And if you do a bridge pose here, which is the middle picture, and you kind of like do a Kegel, squeeze your muscles together, that's kind of where the root chakra is.
Okay, so everybody Kegel, ready?
Everyone Kegel.
So if it's a man, how will a man know?
Pardon? Well, they have a perineum too, so it's literally the same part on the bodies. So
I think they can flex it too. They just don't call it Kegels.
Yeah, exactly. It governs the literal root of us. So it's our legs, our knees, our bowels, our bones. It's also our blood. So it's blood, bones, and bowels, physically speaking, but spiritually, it is our life force. And when you think of our emotions and how we become embarrassed and we might flush in the face, or we might get angry and we'll turn red, or we are in love, or and we might again flush in the face when we're around our crush or something. It's our life force.
Perfect. Excellent job.
Anyone have anything to add there?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope,
Okay.
that was perfect. I was gonna say like your pink cheeks, but
Yeah. It's also really warm in here. So, environmentally speaking.
the heat rises.
Yeah. So what is it? So it's associated with the earth element, and it is all about connecting and grounding to the earth, to keep us, remind us that we are safe and secure in this life, in this world. And I mentioned earlier, if your crown chakra is overworked or overactive, you have a lot of energy happening up here and you're not grounded in your base, then you can get a lot of headaches, or, basically just feel off.
You feel dizzy.
A little bit dizzy.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if that's happening, there's a huge push right now. Like we're saying, people are opening up, people are evolving, people are expanding spiritually. But if you don't know how to ground yourself physically, then you can have some negative impacts.
So many negatives, sweetie. That's why I taught that I have the new course grounding coming up. Yeah. You're clumsy, you're forgetful, you're a little bit off, you're scattered, you feel unfocused, you don't know where you're going, which direction. And I teach in the grounding course, it's not only the roots going down, but Mother Nature actually can come up and touch your root chakra for you. She's electric. So as you learn where the root is, and you can kind of receive this as well. I love that you put it's blocked by fear. Mm-hmm. I love that, because look at all the crap that came up to fear us. Makes sense why everybody's ungrounded right now, why everybody's root chakra is out of balance. Yeah. Because fear was just rapid. Yeah. Right. So this understanding of what's going on with our roots is really important right now. Yeah. And I feel like too, there's a lot of fear that came up that people didn't necessarily know that they were afraid of either. Mm-hmm. So it was just like all of a sudden out of nowhere, they're afraid of so different things happening in the world, and they just are not prepared for it. Right. And then we talked about how big that gets when it's out. So now we have this giant hula hoop hitting all the neighbors, all the people. Yeah. And then we're feeding more.
I find that the more people that are fearful around you, the worse it is. It's almost like, no matter working in retail, like on myself, I'm totally fine going into work. I get to work, I do my thing. And then customers start coming in. And by the end of the day, I'm like, all right, like I feel like I'm just floating away. I should just, and I literally need to stop, take my 3 breaths, reconnect to the earth, and then I can, carry on. But the more people who are fearful around you or ungrounded, makes it so your roots are coming up and you're like, no, stay down. So that's really important too, is being aware of those types of things, that it's not just necessarily you, it can be other people's.
Yeah. And like you said here, feeling lost, alone, unsafe, distressed, depressed, aggressive, unmotivated. Is there not a person around us that's not in that? Yeah. Absolutely. Think about everybody they've experienced this at some point. Something keeps. That's me. Sorry. Okay. You can see it on my screen. It's my mom texting me. Okay. I was like, oh, somebody's really excited. We're getting like a bing to that. No, I'm good. Don't text me right now. Super highlighted. Okay, next slide. Well, and like we're saying, like fear, and if you're not aware of your fear, then you can revert back to like bad behavior.
right? So aggressive behavior, anything, poor habits from your injured childhood type of thing. And
fight, flight, or freeze, right? That we
Yeah.
get into those survival instincts. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say next slide just because I'm trying to keep us on a time.
Sure. Totally.
Got it. We could talk for days on the root. Oh my gosh, I love it.
I know. There's so much information. So
Brilliant.
impacts. Negative first, like we already mentioned, you're ungrounded. So when you're ungrounded, you are more susceptible to feeling fear, picking it up from people around you. You have an inability to receive, may have financial problems. So it's all about our safety and security, and money is really what gives us safety and security in the world that we live in. That's how we pay our bills. That's how we are able to buy our food. So if you're not having root issues, if it's unbalanced or unblocked, you're probably having some maybe financial problems. Symptoms, again, you're feeling lost, disillusioned, unsafe, alone, distrustful, unmotivated, depleted, aggressive. And also, like we've already mentioned, issues from your inner child. So if you have issues from your inner child, which we all do, and you've never done anything to address them, then that can throw your root chakra out. It can also result in addictions. Again, need to feel safe and secure. If you have issues happening in your life and you don't know how to create that safety and security, I don't know. What do you think, Teresa, about this?
Well, I love all of it. All of it. And I just sent you a text. I think we're just going to do the root today because we really need to get into the root. Let's talk about, I love how you maybe kind of sort of have some money problems. Hell yeah, you have some money problems. If you're having money problems, if you're feeling lack, if you are feeling self-worth, oh my gosh, lack of self. If lack of any kind, lack of time, lack of commitment, lack, this is your root chakra. And in the positive, you're open to receiving. And that's receiving all the things. It's not just receiving money, but it's receiving help. It's receiving compliments. It's receiving love, right? Yeah. We think the heart comes from love, but the root chakra is a thing here.
Yeah, it really is.
Sorry, go Tracy.
You go right ahead.
And with the root being all about grounding us, it's also a reminder that we're all connected to each other, and being strong, does not mean being self-reliant, having to do everything on your own. It's knowing that you are connected to every single human being on the planet, and it is okay for you to ask people for help and to then receive that help, or to just, if someone is offering to help, like you offered me yesterday, Teresa, to accept that help.
No, I'm fine. I've got it. Let me just juggle it.
It'll be good. So yes, maybe my root was a little out yesterday.
Tracy, would you like to add anything to that?
I find when my root is off and I'm not connected and I'm not grounded and I'm like all flaily. I literally am flaily, but I find I'm not able to live in such like a gratitude moment. So I have it's like so much more difficulty being in gratitude than when I am rooted and when I am feeling like solid. It really makes a difference. And I know exactly when I'm not balanced and it's out and it's like going in the wrong direction. I'm like, woohoo! Like I'm off in la la land. So that's something for like on my own experience that I find it harder to live in gratitude and to accept and receive anything.
And I feel like that's connected to the whole lack. Feeling a lack. When you're feeling a lack, it's more difficult for you to feel and notice the gratitude around you and the things that you do have to feel gratitude for.
Yeah.
I feel when I'm really grounded, I really savor my life. I'm in the moment. I'm in the now. I feel connected. I'm present. I am
you feel the air
kind of fulfilled. You're like real. I mean, sometimes you don't know you're out until you get to go in. right? Sometimes you're finally in, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't even know how far I was out, because you just kind of lose that ability, right?
And it's those things you take for granted too when you're not rooted. It's like breath, like taking a breath. We do breathing every day, but actually breathing in and having that breath moment is very like, wow.
Grounding.
Yeah, it's a very wow moment. It's like, oh, okay, I feel all of those things in my body working together. So yeah,
and
having
isn't like short breaths, like basically how everyone breathes on a normal basis, is I think actually very related to stress. Like it's
Stress response.
Stress if you're taking shorter breaths.
Yeah.
Versus taking the moment and take the deep breath into your diaphragm, through your lungs, into your diaphragm, and like you say, Tracy, connecting to the ground, because literally we are all in a state of stress all day long and we don't even realize it, because it's our normal state of being now.
Yeah.
And you have to really kind of take a conscious step away from that, like assuming that, well, it's how I am on a normal basis and I'm totally fine. Like,
yeah.
are you totally fine?
That's just how I am, you know.
Yeah, like have you tried taking a moment to take deep breaths and grounding?
What is that 1 minute in a day or an hour to just breathe?
Yeah, super easy to do. We just got to be aware, and that's what we're teaching here, is the awareness. I love the balancing between the root and the sacral.
Yes.
The root and the sacral. So we talked about root and ground, but now we're starting to get up as well. And I do really want to highlight eczema. Eczema is a huge thing people have been battling, especially over the last couple of years. And that is this root. This root is out, so it affects your skin.
Yeah.
And rosacea. I've noticed a lot of people with rosacea this year.
Yeah. That's interesting, actually.
So you were not only just talking about physical seeing it, but also now the circulation of the skin.
Yeah, exactly. And there's that blood again, right?
Yeah.
The circulation throughout the body, but also the circulation of all the chakras working together, but eliminating anything that is not serving you out of that root chakra.
Yeah.
You know, and giving it to Mother Earth, or giving it up to God or universe or spirit, and asking for it to be transmuted. And that's like another thing, when you are grounded, you are allowing energy that is not serving you to enter into the earth. And when I do it, like if I'm grounding or I have energy that I want to get out of me, you know, I visualize it leaving my body out through my feet down into the ground, and I ask Mother Earth to transmute it, to change it into positive energy for the benefit of all, so that it doesn't come back up at me.
There's that allowing again, though. We got to be able to allow. We got to be aware that we can even allow ourselves to release.
Yes. Yeah, we are allowed to release. Don't hold on to that.
Oh, no, but it's mine. I picked it up. I'm going to hold it forever.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's this idea that we have to suffer. Then yes, there are moments of suffering in life, but you don't have to continue to suffer.
Agreed.
You know, like let that go.
Let it go.
We're not here to suffer. We're here to flourish.
We're here to flourish. The suffering is part of it, though. When we suffer, we strive. As long as we learn that there's the second part of the story.
Absolutely. I'm not saying life should be, there's no suffering, there's no learning, because without error or without a suffering or without a down moment, there's no lifting up.
Yeah. Gotta have the balance. The balance, baby. I like the balance.
But having it balanced and going through those ups and downs makes it so it grows. You grow.
Yes, I agree.
And there's a shadow side to everything. So yes, you might be a victim at some point, but there's also, like you say, striving past that feeling of being a victim and going toward the victor. Yes. So you have that. Teresa's remembering things. Yes, I'm remembering things.
This is so fun.
Teresa.
Shadow and self, guys. That's shadow and self.
That's shadow self. Yeah, absolutely. Take a shadow self course. I highly recommend it.
I love it.
You know,
all the different pieces. Exactly. All the different pieces that build us. Okay, what's our next slide, gorgeous?
All right, let's see here. Okay, so how does it serve? So as issues arise in meditations or in everyday life, in a healing, maybe it's a Reiki session you've gone to, maybe you've just, you're having a moment where you're washing the dishes and you get into that like habit, like get into you're doing
We'll call it the zone. Let's call it the zone.
Get into a zone.
Get into the zone.
And like I find I often have like eureka moments when I'm doing that, because my brain is turned off, my logic side is turned off, and I'm just thinking things, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's why that's happening. So as things come up in everyday life, it's useful to ask how each particular issue serves us. So like we're talking about the struggles. How is a struggle serving you? What are you supposed to be learning from this struggle? What is the point of being a victim or feeling like you're a victim? Is to know that you can surpass that and become a victor over a situation, over your life, over your whatever it is. So good questions to ask yourself are listed here. So does this issue serve my understanding? Is this somehow enhancing or diminishing my empathy? How does this relate to my significance? How does this issue serve me, and can I better be served, or can I be better served? And how can I be better served by utilizing this energy?
I love this, especially the significance, because your root chakra is about feeling significant, feeling important, feeling belonging.
Mhm.
So as out or in is teaching us lessons.
Yeah,
Both
exactly.
ways. Yeah.
It's all about learning the lesson.
Yay.
So many lessons.
So many lessons.
Exactly. And then we have how to unblock, align, and maintain. No, I'm
You're
not.
going to teach them how to unblock it? What?
Well, I mean, some tips and tricks to unblock it.
Tips and tricks. Tips and
So
tricks.
depending on what it is, depending on what the issue is, you might have to go see a professional.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, so just knowing that, I think, yes, these are great places to start. Don't get frustrated if it's not working for you though, because sometimes we need that outside perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So again, like these are not, salt baths are not specifically to unblock. It all works together. It's all cyclical. So if we look at unblock first, salt baths are really, really good to remove any negative energy that has attached itself onto you. So if you're having trouble grounding, maybe you just need to have a salt bath first, maybe kind of clear yourself a little bit, and then do that grounding meditation or visualization, or even going outside and walking on the earth. If you don't know how to ground, you're not good at visualizing things, or you don't know how to meditate, it's okay. Walk outside. Literally walking outside will ground you.
Yeah. And take my course. Also,
and take
when you're talking about the salt baths, I like accepting your needs now. I love that you said that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We all have
you can listen to a guided meditation in the tub. You can double it.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
But like, sorry, go Tracy.
I do know, like, some people don't like baths, so they could also use like a salt body scrub. It would do the same thing if people don't like to have baths, because some people just really don't, or some people don't own a bath or like have a bath, because many apartments now don't even come with bathtubs. But in the context of even the salt body scrub would work.
Yeah, absolutely.
It gives them the like to cut any negative off as they're washing their bodies as well.
Mm-hmm. And the great thing about the shower is if you
goes away right away.
A salt scrub
right down the
other
drain.
than just the obvious that it bathes you, it
Right?
cleanses you. It also, you can almost think of as you're using a salt scrub on your body and you're washing it off, and you are letting all the whatever it is that's not helping you or serving you or holding you back flow down the drain with the water and go down into the earth for transmutation into positive energy. Come up as a flower.
I love you brought that up, Trace. There's different kinds you can get. I actually made a lava salt scrub, because then you're actually bringing that earth into your shower as you're washing it down the drain.
Yes, and diatomaceous clay, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do a clay one.
Yeah.
Many options. It starts with awareness, though. Good job.
Yeah, and accepting your needs now. The root is a very primal chakra. It's about our primal needs. So what do you need to be safe and secure? And don't ignore your needs. Don't sacrifice yourself for everyone around you.
Also, be fair. If you're just starting your root chakra, you may not have any idea what you need.
Yeah.
If your root chakra has been out your entire life, that whole "what do I need" question can just throw you into a tizzy. It's like, I don't freaking know.
Like, how do I find out?
I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So even just starting to ask yourself that question. So know that asking the question is very important. The answers will come, but it's learning to ask the question is where the real healing begins.
And know some of the questions you ask yourself are really hard questions.
Yeah.
They're not always like, oh, well, what do I need? It's like, okay, well, why is this happening? What is it that's creating it? And it's digging. It's like, it could be a series of questions. And I am not great at that part, but
you're wonderful. Honestly, you're getting so much better too. But like in the beginning, it's hard, right? It is hard.
It's really hard because who wants to know why you feel like crap?
Yeah.
Like you just feel like crap and you just want to feel better. So in getting down into that nitty gritty part of it, it can sometimes be emotional. It can be like almost like, oh my God, what did I do?
Yeah, Pandora's box.
It could be
Put it back in.
It's hard to put a magnifying glass on it.
Right.
Yeah, look at it.
Yeah, sometimes we don't want to know the answers.
Absolutely. So, but asking those questions eventually, and sometimes they don't come out for a while, but eventually those answers come out. It's like, oh, okay, well then it gives you that ability to start to heal that whatever it may be.
And there is no magic pill.
No.
And no one can heal you. People can assist you in healing, but if you want to if you want to be healed, you have to do the work. No one else experienced your life, you experienced it. So you have to look at your past and whatever it is that you need to look at. And like Tracy was saying, you need to ask those questions and allow those answers to come to you, and to then look at it like, how is this serving me? What do I need to know about this? What is the lesson here? Can I release this and move on? Whatever that question is for you.
The real challenge in this is your root chakra controls that inner critic, and your inner critic is with you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we can sit and talk about it for an hour and you can be awesome, but you're going to go home with yourself. So if you're not contributing to that inner narrative, if you're not starting to change that, that's where we see the big results or the no results. You know, that is really, unfortunately, the key to it all is that inner critic. And it's controlled by the root.
That inner critic in most women is very difficult to try.
Yeah. Like, she is aggressive.
Everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone has an inner critic.
Been feeding you your whole life, and often not just your voice, your mother's voice, your grandmother's voice, your great grandmother's voice, and all the voices in between.
Yeah. And even our society, like everything is a criticism. Everything you read in the news or read on social media, there are so many trolls out there just ready to criticize you because they're anonymous and they're able to. And you take that to heart. Like there's
to the root. You take it to the root. This is what's happening. It's in the roots, right?
Exactly. So yeah, social media is great in a lot of ways, but it also creates an anonymous platform for everyone to say everything that is negative about everyone else.
Well, and really what they're just doing is they're spilling their own inner critic on you.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a reflection. And if you're already feeling that way, it just magnifies. It's back to that water thing.
Exactly. It's like the bully in the schoolyard, right? Like that bully is being mean to you because maybe they don't think very nice about themselves, and they
safety, security, back to the root.
Exactly. And they don't know how to deal with that. So they're going to make everyone else around them feel like shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So we understand so much more now. Oh my goodness, ladies, this was an amazing thing. Okay. Tell us some more about what your slides are here though, honey.
Okay, so I've already talked about pulling excess energy down. If you're having a feeling like you have a headache, pull that down through your body, through your feet into the earth. Walk on the earth. If you're into gardening, get your hands into the soil and like feel the earth in your hands. Now you choose whatever resonates with you, either I am or I have. I've found, depending on the source you're reading about the root, the saying is one or the other. So choose whichever really.
They actually serve two purposes here. So I am powerful, or I have everything I need.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, they serve two purposes.
So choose whichever you need in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also chant Lam. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, you say out loud, Lam. And that's a great meditation because it's also sound therapy, which is another class that you can take with Teresa. I'm gonna plug as many classes as I can. But sound frequency, because frequency is also energy, can have a huge impact on your energy and on your chakras, which are energy centers. So if you are looking for an easy way of kind of clearing things out a little bit, just chant Lam.
Yeah, these are great ideas when you can't get outside. You're right. It's super easy to get outside, but often we're all stuck inside, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Great ideas.
Or if you live in an apartment and you don't have a backyard, or you don't even have a balcony, and we're all self-isolating and you can't even leave your apartment, it's hard to ground.
Yeah, super great ideas.
Yeah. Color red. So red is the color of the root chakra. So there you go. You can wear red. Sometimes I will wear red underwear because I just need to root. I'm like, this is the day. This is how I'm feeling.
You can even take it down to red socks.
Red socks. Do whatever you want to do. Wear red, have red around your home, visualize red, even like as part of a meditation. If you're standing there and you're, chanting Lam, if you want to kind of try to visualize the color red or a red like bubble around you, whatever you want to do.
There's so many options now, because you can even just do a YouTube color red picture, right? You could just have something kind of move. You could take do images of a red apple, or there's so many things. So you're talking about the seeing it, even seeing the color red is what's going to really bring things in for you.
Mm-hmm. Or even paint red, which brings in your sacral chakra, which is all about creativity. But, it's, if you struggle with visualizing it in your mind's eye, then just literally create it, whether it's crayons or pencil crayons or paint, whatever.
Red pens are everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So again, it's the element of earth. So just connecting to the earth in any way that you can. It's the energy of safe and grounded. So
just before you move on, so again, connecting to the earth, you can bring in rocks. Crystals are earth. Also a plant. Having a plant by your bed will help you really ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, even just a piece of dirt, or even, how people go to the beach and they get the sand?
Yeah.
Have that beautiful sand.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, I often use kinetic sand with my kids when I'm doing healings on the Reiki, and they sit here and they play with the kinetic sand, and that helps them ground as we're just chatting. They're hanging out. They're playing with the kinetic sand. They're actually rooting. They're grounding. So many kids this year have been trapped in the fear. So I've been working with a lot of them that way. And this is a really easy way, also for grown-ups, to just sit there and ground in a fun manner.
I have a question. Actually, that brings up a very big thing. So this last week and a bit, all 3 dogs keep bringing in dirt into the house.
They're grounding you.
They're grounding me or them?
They're grounding you. They get grounded when they go out and dig in the dirt. They're bringing it into your home.
Yeah, because they dug up my clover twice. Little buggers.
Oh, those little turkeys.
Yeah.
So mad.
But they're helping you. Mama, you need to ground.
Yes.
Hi.
And then again, the energy of being safe and grounded. So however you can kind of create that energy around you of feeling safe or grounding. You can use magnets. So when we're grounding, we are connecting to the magnetic, oh my gosh, what's the word? Basically the magnetic core of the earth. Yeah. So it is literally keeping us connected to this earth. And so you can, you use magnets. It was suggested you could put magnets in your clothing or in your underwear, because that's where your root chakra sits on your body. So kind of as a reminder for yourself throughout the day, if you go to work and you kind of get lost in the work, everyday tasks type of thing. And then you're sitting there in your chair and you feel the magnets in your underwear. You're like, right, I need to remember to ground myself if I am feeling too stressed out or anxious when I'm at work.
Also, I carry magnets now beside me because I do so many online classes. So I find I need to be extra grounded. And I have a set in my car because I notice as my energy levels up, I need to ground as we travel. So even though I'm outside in nature and we're going along, I need the magnets to ground me as we're traveling because my energy is a different level right now. So that's magnet energy has been a really big thing, especially in the last couple of years. Again, since COVID. So the first time I noticed it was when we flew to Edmonton and we actually stopped at Banff, and the first thing I did was buy magnets. I was like, well, that's weird. Okay, we'll go with it. So I really get into that magnetic energy there.
Cool. Very interesting.
I play with magnets.
Listening to your body. You don't know why you're doing something, but just go with
it. Just go with it.
Don't question it. You can also use crystals to help ground you or to align you.
Do you remember what kind of crystals ground you?
So in our class, we had discussed Apache tears, black onyx, bloodstone, smoky quartz, and hematite for grounding stones. But there's also garnet, black tourmaline, strawberry quartz, red and brown tiger's eye, and red calcite.
Also carnelian.
And carnelian.
Yeah. Excellent list though.
Thank you. Food, root veggies. Eat your root veggies. You are literally eating food from the earth that is connected through its roots. So that would, it's very beneficial. It's fresh, it's natural, it's raw food. What else do I have here? Eat grounding food when you're feeling great, because it then anchors those good feelings into you. So if you don't know what it feels like to be grounded, once you get there through whatever means works for you, then eat those grounding food and anchor that feeling into you, so you can remember it the next time you're feeling unbalanced or your root chakra is overactive or underactive.
I love that. It doesn't have to be broken. Let's just ground in the good stuff too.
Exactly. Totally.
Yes.
And then movement. Move. When we're talking about connecting to the earth, dance in a way that you're stomping your feet on the ground, and you're really pushing that connection with the earth. And you can exercise, you can do yoga. What do I have here? Remember that the root is primal energy. So anything that resonates with your primal energy will keep your root healthy. So yes, stomping your feet will also help wake up the earth as well, because the earth has energy. Dancing to any kind of music that's very earthy. So rap, R&B, if there's some cultural music. I had a CD that I bought years ago from this company that kind of recorded music from all around the world, and it was Zydeco from New Orleans, the South, and it was so I don't know how to explain it, but it just gets you up and wanting to dance and move and have fun. So also root chakra or root poses in yoga. So I had a picture of the bridge pose. That's a really good one.
Also just sitting crisscross. You can just sit crisscross applesauce on the ground.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Just take 5 minutes. Doesn't even have to be very long. Sit crisscross on the ground. Give yourself a couple nice breaths, and you'll reground.
Yeah, there you go. See, so easy. And then maintain questions to ask to heal. So if you're
Sorry,
needing
just
to-
one more thing. Camping. When you go camping and you lay on the ground,
Oh yeah, good.
nothing earths you like camping. That's why everybody's drawn to camping, because they're literally in the ground. They're on the dirt. They're rolling around.
And you can camp in your backyard, or you can
Yeah.
camp out in a campsite.
Picnics. You can just have a simple picnic.
Yep.
Lay a blanket on the grass, sit there and eat some root veggies, sit crisscross, listen to some good music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Anchor in all the good stuff, baby, right?
Go for a picnic.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
God. And then, yeah, so questions to ask to heal yourself. Again, just kind of maintaining your balance here, because again, life throws us lemons, and you might have a day that kind of throws your root chakra out a little bit. So just maintain it by asking, what do I need to feel supported or connected or understood? And then also meditations, any hypnotherapy. Teresa, you do hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
And breath.
And it doesn't have to be long. Like I have a hypno healing meditation / in the grounding one, and it's 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't take a huge amount of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then just again, the breath work.
Yeah.
We've kind of already touched on. So
yeah, I think Tracy brought that up. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
With breathwork. Is that the end of the route? Oh, summary. Oh, we have a summary. Shannon is so good. I must give a little bit of a wow for her slideshow here, because it was very thorough and incredible. As we summarize it up here. Excellent job, my dear.
Thank you. And I will also give a kudos to my sister, because I knew that I was allowed to ask for assistance, and she's very good with visuals. So she helped me a lot with this.
And you're working on your root chakra because you received.
Exactly.
Look at that.
Yay! Something so simple. Oh my gosh. Okay, so in summary, it's developed, forms and grew between conception to 6 months in utero, and then further develops between the ages of 1 and 7. It is located at your perineum. I think I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah.
It's the root of us, so your legs, knees, bowels, and bones, and it's also your blood, so circulation.
And skin.
And skin, exactly.
Yes.
It is the earth element and connection to earth. It is primal and fear versus safety, survival, trust, and belonging. It is affected by your adrenals. We didn't touch on that too much. I think I had it in my notes.
Yeah, adrenals is the thing, though. A lot of people are suffering from adrenal blockages or adrenal challenges. So
Yeah.
if you are doing that, do a little bit more investigation into your roots.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it is associated with our emotions. So when you think of our anger, our embarrassment, our joy, when you're happy and you feel flushed with, excitement, it's all connected there. Health impacts, grounding to connect to the earth and others so that you are not ungrounded. Inner child issues might arise here. So allow those to come up. Allow yourself, if you need to cry about it, go seek professional help if you need that extra level of
Yeah, don't get lost in it. If
Yeah,
you open a wound and it just won't close, make sure that you reach out to help.
Exactly.
And either Tracy, myself, Shannon, somebody is and there's many other people in this world that are incredible healers as well. But make sure that you reach out for that help, because there's so many people that can help you out. You don't need to suffer through it.
No. Yeah. It's elimination of physical and spiritual waste. It's feeling understood as well. So you feel safe. You feel, when you feel that people are understanding you, you feel like, yes, I'm standing here, I'm standing my ground, I'm saying something, I need to be understood. So it kind of, for me, goes toward your feeling of like security. Like when you're insecure and you're afraid to express how you're feeling, it's because maybe you are afraid that people won't understand you, and you might internalize that. How do you
No, I totally agree. And then also the other end of, if you're not sharing the impact you feel you should be, because it's, again, it's having that impact into the world, that understanding that people hear you.
Yeah. Which also connects with your throat chakra, which we will also talk about.
I know it does. It all goes through. It's not one or the other.
They're
It's
all
of the
connected.
things.
They all cooperate with each other. It's not just one chakra. They all work together.
Oh, and Tracy's viewing a great way to ground as well is cuddle a pet. Look at how grounding pet cuddles are.
Oh, Keiko, you're so cute when you're not
Thank you,
sitting on
Keiko.
people.
Our special guest. Get down on the ground with them though and cuddle them. You don't need to even, just get right down with them.
Yeah.
We talked about how they're bringing the dirt in too. So I guess Tracy needs some little grounding here.
Yeah, but she's love.
She's feeling neglected, I think, because her
Aw.
daddy is playing with Simba.
Aw.
She has trust issues. Which, that might be a thing too. Like when we talk about not just humans, it's animals as well.
Mhm.
Their root chakras are definitely
I
affected.
know, and she hasn't had her Reiki session this week either, so she's probably really upset.
Yeah, both of you have animal Reiki as well, and we worked on that roots and all the stuff. Another class.
Totally. So
Okay.
everything we're
It's a
talking
whole
about
other class.
does
Whole other set of chakras.
apply to
Yeah.
connecting as well. Yeah. So allowing yourself to receive. Allow yourself to receive. If you're trying to manifest things, positive things in your world, and you keep trying and you keep trying and you keep trying and it's not coming to you, ask yourself, are you allowing yourself to receive? When people offer things to you, do you do the whole polite thing like, oh, no, that's okay, that we're all taught to do? Or are you willing to say, thank you, I will accept that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I will take that in.
That was a hard one to do.
Yeah.
Like to accept anything. It was super hard to do I know for myself. And I'd be like, no, I can't. And then finally I'm like, okay, fine, I'll just take it. And at first it was very, it was just like that. Fine, I'll just take it. And because no one taught me to receive anything.
Yeah.
I grew up like, if you didn't work for it, then therefore you didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
So it was a hard thing to learn how to do, and I see it every day in people, and so it's super important. Like I can't even explain how important it is to learn to receive. And with the root chakra being you're receiving placement.
Yeah. And I love what you said about you weren't taught to, because that's your family roots, right? So that word root comes up here a lot. Your whole family tree wasn't taught how to receive. So we're learning a whole new language here.
And when you think of the whole family tree not being taught or being allowed to receive, you're also talking about ancestral healing as well. So it's literally your foundations and your family roots that also need to heal. So ancestral healing also features in the root chakra, because so many people, the generations before you, through no fault of their own, possibly, were also really ungrounded. And my grandparents' generation, my grandma, I'm the youngest of all the grandkids, so she lived through the Great Depression. So her generation was all about needing to survive.
Starving. They were starving.
And that stays in you, and that need to survive is passed down. And so it's the fear of having to survive.
Yeah, and it passed down in your DNA. So not just in your energetic and emotional and spiritual, you're actually in your DNA at this level.
And our DNA has energy.
Yeah.
All of your cells have energy. The energy is actually what projects the body. We are energy before we are physical. So when you think of all your cells having energy, and yes, having all those memories that are passed down to you from the previous generations, that's also, you might have issues to deal with that aren't even your issues. They're your family issues. Yeah. So again, so important to understand the root chakra and how it can impact you.
Yeah, and why these foundations are so important. And honestly, they all work together. But if you just watch the self-study course for this root chakra, if you just start here, if you just start in awareness, if you just listen to this part, you're going to make a dynamic difference in your life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
all that to end off, unblock, align, and maintain, accept your needs, walk on the earth, ask healing questions, ask yourself healing questions, write it down, ask the question and let it go, and then go do the dishes and the answer might come to you. If you need to cry, let yourself cry. If you need to go out and walk on the earth afterward, go for a nice meditative walk, do whatever you need to do. Repeat I have or I am, whichever resonates with you in the moment. Breathe and move.
Excellent.
Yes.
Wow, girls. Holy smolies.
Yeah, a lot
What
of
a class.
information.
A lot of information.
Right? But all very useful.
All very useful. So to homework, what are we going to do for homework for the root chakra?
So, let me just read out here. We have this, Teresa, this is your mantra that you had given to us in the class.
Yes.
So something for people to write this out, keep it with you, maybe keep it in your wallet or your purse or by your bed or wherever you might, you need to keep it so that you can kind of refer to it.
Say it a couple times a day.
Say it a couple times a day, yeah. So I am safe and grounded. I feel protected in this world. All is well in my world. I deserve to be safe at all times.
Oh, yeah. I deserve to be safe at all
deserve,
times.
right?
So
That's-
love it.
That's heavy and so important. I am supported by Mother Earth. I have everything I need. I trust in the good of this world, and I release all my doubts and fears, and am supported by those around me, and I choose to trust the universe to guide me, or God, or Allah, or whatever you want to put in there to guide me.
Exactly. Excellent. Say them with feeling, say them often.
Yeah.
Homework. Oh, there we go. I love the homework.
So walk outside for at least 10 minutes without distractions. So don't have your headphones on. Pay attention, be in the moment, connect to the earth. And then practice visualizing the color red. Or surround yourself with red. Just incorporate the color into your life for, I guess, a few days or the week. What are we doing? The week, Teresa?
Yeah, whatever.
Sure.
3 days. 3 days. Let's do 3 days. Everybody can do something for 3 days.
3 days. And abundance. Remember, spend time thinking or writing about what you have an abundance of and that you can share with others. So
lovely.
Abundance of time, abundance of kindness, abundance of money. If like I've walked by, walking along the street and you walk in and get a cup of coffee and there's someone sitting outside, buy them a cup of coffee. You can afford a $3 coffee for someone who needs it.
At the very least, realize how amazing it is that you don't have to think about to have that coffee.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Love it. Excellent job.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. So we are going to have a healing as well connected to this. We're going to record it separately, though, we decided. I will send that so that you can listen to that often. I do suggest doing it every day while you're going through this course. It's not very long. I think it's under 15 minutes. So it's something that you could start your day with or end your day with, or maybe have your lunch hour break with, give yourself that nice balancing.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And just remember that the root chakra is the first of the primary or basic chakras. And if your root chakra is not balanced, then as you move up into the other ones, it will be more and more difficult for you to balance those out. So when we talk about the sacral chakra next time, the root and the sacral chakra work hand in hand, and the sacral is all about feeling pleasure in life. But if you don't feel safe and secure in your life or in your world, you won't allow yourself to express your creativity, your sexual preferences, your pleasure, whatever it is. So the root is really, really important to make sure that you are safe and secure in this world.
So take a minute, do your homework.
Yes.
3 days.
Tracy, do you have anything to add, sweetie?
No, I just feel that if people take the time and know that they're worth the time that they're investing in connecting to their root and going forward every chakra that we go through this course, the benefits are astronomical.
Yeah.
The change in your life is, there's no measurement for it. It's a beautiful shift for yourself. And it's worth the 10 minutes.
You're worth the 10 minutes.
So
You
yeah,
deserve the 10 minutes.
yes,
Your
every
generations to come are worth the 10
Yeah.
minutes.
So knowing that this is out there and available for whoever wants to take it, I think it's worth every moment.
Awesome.
And like you, sorry, one more thing, Teresa, like you said, for the other generations, and like you're saying, Tracy, it's if you can learn these things now and kind of end that repetitiveness from the previous generations of all these patterns of behavior that are really holding you back and are not allowing you to kind of live life to the fullest, you can learn how to put into practice these practices. You will be benefiting the generations that come after you, because you can teach them about their root chakra. You can teach them about their sacral chakra. You can teach them about the importance of having their personal power and the power that they have to make choices in their life, which is the solar chakra, which you'll talk about.
Oh, it's all the good stuff. It's incredible. I think we're gonna probably just make this one chakra, one class.
For sure.
It's gonna be a little bit bigger than we were expecting, but it's self-study. So you can do 2 a week if you want. You can do 1 a week. Just do it. Just do it, right? It doesn't matter how you do it. Do it at your pace. Self-study is gonna be incredible. I love it.
Yeah.
I am so honored to work with you ladies. Thank you so much for showing up and showing off and sharing this with this world. So needed. Oh my gosh, so needed. Okay, so we will see you all very soon. We're going to do the sacral chakra next Sunday. So if you're on our direct self-study list, it will be next week. So do your homework, enjoy. If you're doing this on your own time, again, feel free to do it in a couple days. Just make sure you get solid on the root chakra before you move on to the next level. So listen to your feeling.
Questions.
Oh, yes, questions. Feel free to email us questions at blendedspiritacademy@gmail.com, blendedspiritacademy@gmail.com, or you can pop on the website, blendedspiritacademy.com, and find me many ways. You can even text me if you need. And then I'll just pass it on to one of the lovely ladies here.
We're in.
Okay, so much love. Oh, I adore you guys. Thank you so much for being part of this massive change that is needed in this world today. We will see you all soon. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.